So I just picked up one of the most sought after Harley-Davidson models from the 1930s and 40s, and the bike hasn't run in over 30 years. I picked this bike up at the Antique Motorcycle Swap Meet in Ole, Pennsylvania. I saw the bike on the field, absolutely had to have it. Today, we're gonna take a look, see how original the bike is. Of course, we're gonna try and get this thing fired up and running and see if we can get the actual death wobble out of this front end, make it go down the road safe and sound. So the bike at hand, guys, 1941 Harley-Davidson WLD. And when I say this thing is desirable, you just don't see these models. So 1930s and 40s, all sorts of great machines. You had knuckleheads, big twin flatheads, you had the really early Harley-Davidson 45 stuff all the way into panheads. You know, 1948, they debuted the panhead. But for the guys that are in the know, the 1941 WLD is one of the bikes to have. So they actually debuted the WLD in 1937, and it was a hop-up version of their standard lightweight motorcycle. So my first ride on an old motorcycle was actually on a model identical to this. So got some really great memories, and we're gonna see if we can recreate some of them. Yeah. So looking at what's original and what's not. Bikes like these are stacked with hard to find original rare parts. And you know, me and Chris's first look, what do you see, man?
Well, immediately staring right at it, like the tank badges and the trim is like beautiful.
Yep. The badge is tough to find. They used to remake them way back in the day. HD got in the way of that, and now they're impossible to find, whether they're new or they're old. So looking at the engine, guys, and the engine is one of the things that makes the WLD so special. The engine looks to be the right stuff. They got these big fin cylinders here. And what you're looking at is a higher performance model, it's higher compression. So they had bigger cooling fins. Like we gotta, let me see here, just for visual, guys, big difference, you know, between some stock stuff. When you look at a Harley-Davidson 45 cubic inch cylinder, comparing the two cylinders, it's night and day. Looking at the top view, you can see the big difference. Coming down here, they've got all this extra meat right in this area. Now, aside from just the size of the fins, they also had a bigger intake port, Chris. So this is the same size intake port as like what's on your UL.
Yeah.
They breathe better. Now the heads also, I'm looking for a number 6 head, but I don't see the number 6 head. I do think they're the right heads.
So does that mean you're gonna do donuts on this bike?
This would be a good donut bike. This would be a real good donut bike. So WLD, the W 45 cubic inch, L high compression, D high performance. Yeah, frame, nice frame. Looks like a really nice frame. Toolbox on that side or no?
No.
Reproduced taillight cover. Okay, so the Beehive taillight, I know this one's reproduced because the original ones had a stamped in Harley Davidson right up there. Right fenders, got a narrow brace rear fender, narrow brace front fender. That looks like the right stuff. Harley 45 clutch pedal, beautiful pair of original floorboards. Really nice set of exhaust stacks.
So what do you think about the dash?
The dash it's a repop Speedo, so that's definite. Dome glass, face is all messed up. The dash is actually a later dash. It looks original. They had a different V in here. 39, 40, 41. You see that really pronounced V right there? The 42 to 6 dash had the hump there. Original switch. The dash is a bummer, because the dash it's your rider's eye view, you know? It's always been a really important part to me. I saw that when we bought the bike and figured I had another dash on the shelf. Maybe we'll end up slapping that thing on. So the seat is just okay. It probably functions right. Buddy seat springs. I had somebody in the comments on one of our videos ask what these extra springs are for. And the Buddy seat springs there, and I think this is mounted backwards. But you slide these in and they provide some extra spring.
So I wonder if the guy who had this bobbed the rear fender at one time and then changed his mind. You know, because
that's a good question.
He's just got a...
Yeah, you know what? The fender braces were broken. Pull that away and see. Can you see in here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they've had some sort of fender brace extensions where, you know, and it's definitely some old brush paint job. Yeah. So yeah, and then the front end, you know, he said this thing had a speed wobble.
Yeah.
Which is about the worst thing you can have on an early Harley. Real short rake with these little 16-inch wheels. Things get pretty sketchy. So something tells me we're gonna have this front end apart in no time. The electrical tape is not original.
No, he's got a replacement
replacement coil.
Then also, again, the wiring is
What's that, wiring? Yeah, see, the wiring's tough, man. We're gonna go ahead and try and replace some of that. Get this thing corrected and worthy of putting out on the museum floor. I'll tell you what, these tires, too, are killing the vibe on this bike, you know. Look at this. Aftermarket, what's that, like a truck light?
It's a truck light, but then he's added a switch on the top.
Added a switch on the top. Look at that, on, off. Looks like a nice 9-bolt horn. That horn is the nicest part on the bike, if you ask me. Headlight, can't tell, doesn't really look original. I can't tell if it's been painted over or not, or if we're looking for a cycle ray guide impression there. It's like rubbing my finger over it, I can kind of feel it, but so maybe the paint was just laid on real thick. It looks like an original bezel, and actually this does look original too, the terminal block there. You know, cool little accessory deals here. How's the spirals work? Throttle works good. I mean, Spark advance is moving. Everything looks like it's functional. And then, does it kick over? You know, that's the question. And oh yeah, you hear that? You got a bottom end full of oil. Bottom end full of oil. And then the next thing is the infamous Harley-Davidson 3-speed 45 cubic inch trans. It's, if they don't shift, everything's got to come apart.
1 out of 10?
Is it bad?
Yeah, there's gas in there, but it's
oh no,
pretty stinky.
So that's been in there a long time.
Yeah. It's brown.
Is it solid?
No, thankfully it's not solid.
There's no solids in there. It's not rusty, but it's bad lacquered gas. Dry.
Yeah.
Little oil on the bottom, so which may all be in the lower end. So, all right, man, let's get this lift up and see some of the things we're gonna do to get her fired up. Battery, pull the lower end, drain plug. I'm just gonna yank the carb apart.
Yeah,
may as well. Yeah. Probably put a new float in it. We'll pull a primary cover off, check and see what that all feels like, and get to work.
Did you just go straight for a popsicle?
Popsicle break. Okay, shall we proceed? I feel hydrated. 2, 3. Yep. Good. I keep saying get down. So as rare as the bike is, there's definitely some things that kind of point to the era which it was restored or rebuilt. You know, I think probably 80s, early 90s, when, you know, knowledge is a lot broader now than it used to be. There's been a lot of experts and enthusiasts document what's correct, year to year changes, all that sort of thing. 30, 40 years ago, guys just didn't know, you know, and the guys did things because they like it. So you put some fancy chrome oil lines on, you order some new manifold nuts out of the catalog, relay cover, you know, chrome and extra, this funky wiring, and, you know, the purpose wasn't accuracy back then. The purpose was just to make it run. So it's obviously what's been done to this bike. So we got some correcting to do. As long as this sucker runs, it's gonna be one awesome bike. What's that carb look like, Mick? Can you see anything? Yikes. It's stiff. It's hard to even turn. Nah. But it is coming apart. So ultrasonic. Did we ever name the ultrasonic?
Didn't.
We didn't.
Chris,
What?
what's the name of the ultrasonic?
Buzz.
Oh, it's Buzz. It is Buzz. Of course it's Buzz.
So then there's the question of how much of these wrong things are we going to fix?
That is the question.
Because these engine studs are horrible.
What are they?
The case studs.
The case studs.
Yeah.
What do they got in there?
Well, on the top one, and then on at least one of the ones I can see on the side, it's some kind of Allen-headed.
Allen head bolt. Let me see.
Yeah, you got one there.
Yeah. Oh, that's got to get swapped.
There, and then these are not.
Those are. They go in.
Yeah.
So those are just bolts.
Yeah. These and that.
Yeah, and then we'll put a different timing plug in it, hopefully. Yeah. That may be stripped out. Look at this. This is broken. Just the throttle plate all together.
Oh, wow.
Hopefully I have another one. High-speed needles. This looks like a panhead high-speed needle, so we'll change that out. Or low-speed needle. So many of these carbs. It's a linkered carburetor. Most of the time they come apart the same and they go back together the same, but I'm seeing some concerns with this one. It's got an O-ring up top, which might mean wore out throttle bushings.
Hey, you know why motorcycles are prone to fall over?
Because they're too tired, dude.
Dang it.
Did you get
How do you shoot a blue elephant?
With a big blue elephant gun.
Okay. How do you shoot a red elephant?
With a big red elephant gun.
You hold its nose till it turns blue and shoot it with a blue elephant gun.
Me and Chris got the same dad joke book. Did you guys hear about the cheese factory that exploded in France? It was crazy. Alright, so carburetor was nasty. Pieces broken, stuff stripped out. For the life of me, I cannot remember if this carburetor is supposed to be black, if it's supposed to be nickel plated or silver. One guy knows it's gonna be Matt from Carl's Cycle Supply. Call Matt Olson.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice.
Silver. Silver it is. Okay, that's good. Good stuff. All right, first order of business, getting our fuel set up right. We know the engine's got compression. It was running when it was put up, even though Chris said there wasn't a ton of oil in it. There was oil in the lower end, so that's good. And we know that the engine had lubrication. We'll drain out the oil tank too and make sure any of that nasty, sticky stuff is gone. So you guys know it, compression, spark, fuel. We're on the way with the carburetor. Compression, we got it. Spark, that's the scary part of this bike because it looks like an electrical disaster. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the battery and then we'll start tracing things backwards. Be inching closer to getting this thing running, and while we do it, we'll probably cosmetically give this thing a little bit of a facelift. Something tells me this battery ain't gonna come up. 30-year-old Harley battery? And that is terrible right there. Oh my gosh. That is not supposed to do that. That's gonna make huge deflection on the points. I don't even know how. We gotta do something about that. See, and that's the thing, is he said he ran it 30 years ago, and I believe the guy, you know, but how well it ran, we just don't know yet. So we're gonna make sure by the time we're done, thing runs perfect. Yeah, that's a nasty old battery. Man, this wiring is grossing me out, man. It's freaking me out. I might just put a whole new harness for these four. I can't stand the metal.
Yeah.
It's got to go.
And it would be then trying to just trace down every little thing.
Trying to trace down this, yeah. So that means we're probably going to have to retime it. Dash is coming off. I do not want to rewire this whole thing, but maybe that's what we should do. The rabbit hole is getting deeper.
You got that on.
What do you got?
Yeah.
It's good.
Oily in there.
Oily,
so,
feel good.
Yeah.
Not super loose.
Yeah.
It's really just where it needs to be. That looks like a big motor sprocket, dude.
Yeah.
That thing looks like it's 30 teeth or more.
Yeah. 31.
31, see? I mean, we're gonna leave it. I really feel like a 29 or 30 would probably be better, especially in the mountains here, but we'll go ahead and let it be for a bit. We'll see how it performs, and if we gotta come back and drop the gearing a little bit, that's okay. See what we're looking like. Don't be the same. So definitely need the new coil and plug wires too. We're gonna break it all the way down, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
This will be nice, actually, to have a nicely, properly wired 45, you know? It's one of those things that the small details go a long way. Even as things functional, you put the right stuff back on it, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
This is all electrical taped, come on.
So go ahead and I can disassemble or take this.
Yeah, you could just take take the wires off the coil, take the whole coil off.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna keep the chrome oil lines though. Those are a little snazzy. Just a little bit of flair. We're going backwards, Chris. We are going backwards.
Got to go backwards.
You got the coil off? Nice.
Coil's off.
Okay,
and the
pull
nice
that
thing
wire out there.
Is like he's still got the original, you know, it's missing the back piece on this one up top, but he's still got the original U-bolts on there for the, for the coil.
Oh, so he's missing that little, I have
cross-
extra ones of those. Yeah, that's great. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, jeez. You know what? It's going to be easiest to take the tanks off. I'm ready if you are.
Mm-hmm. That'd be easier to get all this gas out of here too.
Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff. What do we have? We've got, that is, nope, they're not the wires to the taillight. So
this one, that's the one
that's going through there.
Yeah.
We'll have to see around back if this is actually the loom that they went through there with. It kind of looks like it is. And then this, I bet you this ran some extra lights, Chris. Yeah, I'm gonna rewire the whole bike. So let's just start cutting. That's an original wire right there. Oh, it's like there is a combination of some original wiring here, but it's frayed, electrical taped, and I'm worried about it. Okay, so let's take this off here. Let me pull this out. It's gonna be a hassle to wire back through, but it's all right. While we got it apart, Chris, let's pull that Allen bolt.
Yep.
More, there's several of them.
Yeah,
oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, they're horrible.
The clutch felt pretty good. So I think we're gonna run with the clutch just like it is. No, we're not, we're here. We're gonna take it apart. That's what we're doing. Because that's the right thing to do. But we're gonna stay on track. I've got attention deficit disorder, really bad. All right. I'd be worried to see if the charging system works at all, so we may very well try out the new relay, put a solid state in it. Haha, it is a solid state. 32E original generator, which we're gonna keep our fingers crossed about. I think the motor's gonna be just fine. I'm feeling it, and we'll do the finger test in a little bit and see what the compression feels like on each. Now the transmission, that's something else. There's our 45 coil mounting kit. Plug wires. Stay on track, stay on track. Okay, now we're gonna go for this coil mount. We'll hook the coil up before we go running other wires.
Oh, did you see the red behind that tank?
Nah, that may very well be original red paint back there. That might be original paint, man. I mean, and obviously there's nothing to do about it because the fender's been pretty worked over pretty bad, and we could turn into a Christmas bike. Okay.
Now we're moving back the other way.
I know, we've rounded the corner. Chris, if you want to tighten these guys up, come on over. I'm gonna get to pulling some wiring. Let me pull off all these tools, ditch this whole kit, set up. There's a headlight wire. That's a good one. That is a timer wire. And we're starting from scratch. One of those things, when I saw this thing on the field, I kind of expected the best. Saw that there was some janky wiring, but you never really know how bad it's gonna be. This goes to the other side, and there's gonna be a bunch of extra. Okay. Pull, give that a pull. You're not gonna hook it up, I don't think.
Okay.
Next, to the dash. Okay, then this guy hangs out back at, now that's our tail light wire. That's gonna go to a terminal. Anything back there, Steve?
Go back there and see if you've got anything.
Yeah.
That's brake light.
So that's brake?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then that's tail. So
Tail,
red is brake light, and blue is tail light.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember it. I think, let's pull the clutch.
When you got a bike like this, a lot of things start happening at the same time. So while Matt's finishing up the wiring, I'm gonna go and see if I can get these clutch plates cleaned up.
So we're gonna have to probably put on the oil tank. So before we put the oil tank on, let's run our plug wires. This goes under and over here, like a so, like a so. All right, good. One, zip it back in there, ball to the front. There's an out and an in. Come on now. One. This clutch, I'm not sure it's gonna work great because I don't know if there's a bent pin on there or what, but something feels a little fishy. Okay, now we can, clutch is rebuilt. We can at least kick things over. Is there any wobble? A little bit. Okay, I can deal with that for now, and we'll adjust it in a bit. Okay. Ready? Yep. One at a time, just cause. Ready? Oh man, that's big compression. Number 2. Yeah. Abso-freaking-lutely. Very nice. Okay. Man, this thing is gonna be one sweet runner when we're done with it. I know it. We're gonna go.
Look at that red paint.
Ridge paint. How about grab the top bolt out of the oil tank? And I need a washer for here, but does it feel okay there? Are we sitting flat? It looks like it. How's that?
Yeah.
Cool, man. If we're good with that, it does appear to be in the zone right there. Now, that being said, where does this route? Routing is crucial. 41. Gosh, this is gonna be a whole new bike when we're done. You see a bike like this and haven't had 30 more years of experience than when I first rode this exact same model. It's gonna be interesting to see how the memory lines up with the reality. So it felt like a powerhouse when I was 13 years old. Maybe it will be. All right, so we're good there. Couple wires left to do, but we can finish those up after we get that front end moving back in the right direction.
So what all has to happen in the front, do you think?
Man, the crazy part is when you hear the word death wobble, it could be a half a dozen things. So the first place you go is the neck bearings. That's the simplest fix, and that's gonna require us loosening the handlebar, pinch bolts in the stem nut, popping the bars up, and tightening the head cone. Now, before we do that, we're gonna test it. I'm gonna get a Bikes and Beards strap. Yeah, here, so slide that through. We're gonna go down underneath. All right. So new coil, a bunch of new wiring so far. We've got some to tighten back up. Now we're gonna get the jack underneath this bike, lift the front end and see if we've got any shake. If we do, we'll have a whole different load of problems. Okay. So what we're looking for is shake back and forth here. That actually does not feel that bad. Now that being said, let's pull the front wheel because we're going to inspect the fork rockers because that's usually the next thing. If it's not the neck bearings, it's because all your bushings here are worn out and sloppy. Probably have a rebuild kit. And if not, I could already tell that the brake shackle, this is immense. See all this slop here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like either one, I think the brake shackle's loose, or the pin that the shackle rides on is loose. Okay. Yeah.
It's amazing to me how skinny these front axles are.
That little thing, that little thing is gonna hold your front end, and that's bent is what that is. I don't really like that.
Oh yeah, you can see it. Yeah,
you can
really
see it poking
here.
out that way. Man, I've never seen one that bent. I am gonna try and straighten that. Yeah, no wonder it had a speed wobble. I bet every time he grabbed the front brake, it wanted to just twist him to nothing, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, we bent it. I got it a little bit. Okay, here we go. There we go. Straight, pretty. Let's go dead in the middle there. Jeez, that is bad. I'll show you. This thing is about as rough as I've ever seen, man. So what we've got is this is completely loose. The anchor that holds the shackle. The shackle's all bent all the heck. The bolt in the shackle is bent. So every time you grab the brake, no idea what's gonna happen because it really depends on where the weight of the bike's at. If you're leaning, if you're not, uphill, downhill, any number of things change. So, okay, that feels good. I think his problem was the brake.
Yeah, just all that stuff being bent is going to compound.
That's right.
When you get on it.
I think his problem is the brake backing plate. While we're here, that's good that we don't have to take the whole front end apart. That's going to save us hours on this. While we're here, Chris, I pulled out some proper hardware for mounting those. So pop those into place. I'm gonna go to work on this brake backing plate.
All right.
Use some acetone, clean this grime off, and we're gonna lay a new weld on these. Okay, see what our issue is. The pivot, the anchor pivot, moving like crazy. You can see it spinning in back here. And at the moment, we can't even get the anchor off to straighten it until we set this back up in place. So, yeah, well, what you're doing is you've got this compounding of leverages. A little bit of movement. Yeah, that's actually, guys, if y'all hadn't seen the last video, this is a 1919 J model engine that we're rebuilding for our guy Craig over at The Bearded Mechanic. Craig picked this up at an auction with a really cool 1919 chassis. This is gonna get rebuilt right here on this engine table at Wheels Through Time. I got the transmission also. We're gonna get Craig fixed up with a power plant and drivetrain, drive line that he's gonna be able to put thousands of miles on. So Craig's first Harley J model, we're converting him to the dark side. So yes, one more. Okay, so welding the brake anchor, and then Chris also reminded me we have another small piece of the floorboard strap to weld. All we're looking to do here is recapture this peened-in rivet, or peened-in brake anchor. So much better. Okay, so what we do want to look at now is the whole thing was that it was all bent to pieces, man. So let's go ahead, straighten this shackle back out. You know, you get a view like this, right? So, I mean, you can see it's pretty bent when you got something to square it up here. Look at that. It's absolutely terrible.
And that's supposed to be straight.
Straight as an arrow.
Wow.
Hello. It was lucky that we just found a perfectly slip fit piece of that. So I need to finish welding the whatchamacallit, and then Chris, while I'm welding, see if you can find an unbent one of those in the brake stuff over there. Okay. So, and you're gonna want to make sure it fits. Now you'll find them without a hex there. Okay, so we are set back up here. All it is where the floorboard goes through. Okay. All right, back to reassembling outside. We got a little bit of wobble in our brake anchor, but that's okay. I'm all right with that. And then this guy, we're gonna run on the inside. We're just gonna run with that, dude. Okay, great. There you go. Glorious. All right. Oh, that's so much better of a fit on the shackle too. Wow. Big difference. Okay. So we're real close. If you want to put that primary cover on, then you're set. I'm gonna finish the couple butt connectors. It's got brake light switch. Then we need green and a red, some heat shrink, and 4 terminals, 2 of these nuts, green and red wire. So what we opted to do, guys, was splice in 2 wires for the taillight and the brake light, getting into this fender. Whole nother ball of wax that we'd rather not jump into today. We do want to get this thing fired up and going. We tested the brake light and the tail light, all seem to be just fine. So we're going to cut us a length here. This one is running to the brake light. Okay, so I need green from the brake light to the coil. Green from the brake light switch to the coil, excuse me. Red from the tail light or brake light to the brake light switch. Uno. All right, that'll work. Now it's starting to look like what we took off the bike. Yeah. Good. All right, Chris, if you want to grab a ratchet or wrench, get these two nuts, tighten them down real good.
Yep.
I'm going to start rebuilding this carburetor. Let's grab this body here. Look at that. Beautiful. Venturi. Main nozzle. Standard M51 carburetor. All right. We should have an NOS throttle shaft. Okay. Throttle plates.
So we're close to buttoning this thing back up, replacing these engine, the case studs. Floorboard goes back on, clutch gets hooked back up. Matt's finishing up on the carburetor. We'll mount that back on. Right side tank, battery, fuel. We gotta retime it just to show we gotta check the timing since we had the distributor out. But then we should be good to go. Judging by the compression on that front cylinder when we were checking it, I think this thing's gonna have a pretty beefy sound.
Okay, case studs reconfigured. Beautiful. All right.
Get this back on.
So, yeah, pop that on, finish that up. We'll get these gas tanks put back. We could put the carburetor on before the tanks.
Feeling
So let's
hopeful
do
now?
that. I am feeling hopeful. We're really close. Fish this guy back in. Yep. Battery connected.
Don't see any.
Flick the points.
Hit the points.
Nothing.
Turn the second key on though and see if we got taillight.
We do have tail light.
We do have taillight. Hit the brake. Yep.
Brake light.
Brake light. Nice. Ground that thing out. Oh yeah.
Hey.
Bada bing. Give it a low beam. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll take it. All right. So as of right now, we do not have spark at the points. We are ready to run other than having spark here. Now, I bet you it's in the distributor head. Distributor, let's go ahead and rebuild these points with a set of OEM Harley-Davidson points.
So up until now, we've been moving backwards a lot more than we're moving forwards. But I think we're finding a place now where hopefully, if everything goes perfectly well, we're not that far from getting this bike to run.
Now we try again, Chris. Let's just do a quick test here.
Okay.
Key on, and we're gonna ground it. Anything?
Hold on. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Nothing.
And
Yep,
oh,
yep, yep. On and
points
off,
are
on and off.
sparking. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. We're solid now. We've got compression. We've got spark. Now we're gonna make sure the spark's happening at the right time. Then all we need is fuel and hopefully, well, and a little bit of oil. Okay. So the way my dad always taught me how to time a bike, just like it says in the manual, spin the engine over until your front intake valve closes. So you're going compression stroke on the front cylinder. Front intake valve close. On the way down, the piston rounds the corner and starts to come up towards compression. That's when you're going to see your timing mark. So as we spin this over, you're looking for that intake valve to come up. There, it's starting to come up. It's coming down. And then I like to put it in gear. That way we can back it up if we need to. So Chris, put that thing in gear. Oh, yeah, let's see. Okay. All right.
There you go.
Ready? Mm-hmm. Now we ought to be coming up on timing.
Okay. Okay, so just give it just a little bit of a, oh, that's too much.
Too much? Okay.
Yeah. Back just a little bit more. Oh, yes. Okay, keep coming. Yeah, just keep bumming like that. You're right, okay, right there.
Okay, so that's how crucial the timing is, guys. Yeah, and we would be way retarded because it is not braking yet. So anytime you change your points, you have to retime the bike or at least check the timing. Got plug wires on, oil lines tight, ignition's hooked up. I'm thinking we're oil, gas, and go.
Did you ever check the saddlebags or anything?
No, I didn't check the saddlebags. What's in the bags? Maybe there's some oil, because oil's getting expensive. Look, there's our plug wrench. Could have used that a while ago. Old set of plugs, unused. So they're Excel plugs. You probably got those with the plug wires. Manifold nuts, not chrome ones. So those are the original manifold nuts. What do we got? an extra Tsubaki chain, shopping bag, horse feed. What else we got?
That was just to take up space.
Yeah, nice. Been looking for those. Okay. Any oil in there?
Yes.
Yes. See, there's no drain plug on a 45 either, so the fact that it's got oil in it is not really a surprise. All right. Here we go. Let's fill it up with gas. Okay. Here we go. Exciting. This is my favorite part. Any idea? You guys guess how many kicks?
After prime, I'm saying 1.
1 kick, Chris. So, ready? All right, gas on. Tap this float bowl and make sure it's not leaking. How we looking? Everything tight?
I don't see anything.
Seems good. All right. I think we're ready to start kicking.
What do you say?
3 kicks. A little bit of spark retard. Chokes on. We got, take it out of gear. Toe down. Okay, ready?
Yep.
3 prime kicks. 1, 2, 3. Got fuel? Okay, ought to be 1 to go. Nope. 2.
That's the thing about those 45s, man. Sometimes you even just like barely
Breathe on it and start it. I don't know. It sounds like it feels like it's not getting fuel. It's not. It kind of likes mostly choked. I do feel like fuel delivery is a problem. So let's crack this fuel line. Seems like, we got a full pile of gas.
Could it be that the float's just moving slow?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. If it's not a clogged jet, then right now it ought to fire right up and run fine because the float's full.
Yeah.
But it dies immediately.
Yeah.
You know what? It is kind of acting like that thing's clogged. We got fuel starvation issues. Good?
Yep.
It seems like fuel. It may be a clogged muffler or something like that. It's acting like it's choked down. It's just like, and as fast as it dies, you figure how could it be fuel? What bike was it? It was that 36 knucklehead we did with the plug muffler, and it would run just like this. And you could even, oh my goodness. What is it? I think I found his death wobble. Oh no. So guys, we have made a discovery as to where this high-speed death wobble came from. And it appears that the back of the transmission casting is got a big break in it. That is not pretty. Gosh, it goes around to the bottom.
Oh yeah, I can
You
see your
the
light through it
hole
all
there,
the
and
way
it
up to here.
goes. I think I can fix that. I think I can weld it
Yeah.
with. Oh gosh. First thing we're gonna have to do is V that out.
Yep.
Then I think what I think I might do is use some of that nickel brazing rod and scrape the flux off and lay in the nickel there, and then once I get the nickel root pass in there, I'll just maybe use some silicon bronze to connect it. I think I can do it with the transmission in. What we're gonna do is try and weld that with the bike together. I know we'll probably get some comments about it, and it's not like we don't know the right thing to do. Right thing is to take 3 months and take the bike back apart, send it to your frame guy who's got a backlog of work for 2 months, and then maybe he gets to work on it, and then you guys get the picture. So we want to ride this bike now, we want to ride it today, and the odds are, if I can weld this good enough, it'll be good for the rest of this bike's life.
If it runs fine, we know we got a clogged muffler.
Yep.
No, the muffler's not clogged. I can see through it.
What the problem is,
I'll tell you, what you're wanting to do is turn the sucker upside down, and after you've taken the plugs out,
Yep.
just heat this area with the torch.
Yep.
Burn it the hell out. And when you start to hear the popping and crackling, you're burning out whatever's in this zone there. Usually, yeah.
yep. Wow, that was a good root pass. Silicon bronze now.
And so you're just doing this to bring down the temperature slowly?
Yeah, I'm just making sure the outside periphery is hot enough, because what causes a weld to crack is heat going away from the weld into cooler metal.
Are you on the engine?
Yes.
Yeah, if you're on the engine, that's probably good.
Yeah, I can do that. Okay. I'll take it. Okay, roll her back up. Yep. Good. Okay. I'm not gonna let this bike beat me. I'm serious.
Chris, let's do this, man.
One more.
We got gas now.
Yep.
Oh my God.
What on earth? Why is it doing this, man? Could that needle be too long? I think I know what it is.
Shut the fuel off. Carb comes back off again. How can there be that much gas in there? There's so much gas. But it's like that idle passage is plugged or something. I am thinking this is a panhead needle. I'm gonna take it out and look what comes out of a different one. Ain't no problem there. Oh, that's disgusting. Look at there. You see the difference?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's not even close, because by the time you get to
Oh, yeah.
there, the taper is completely different. So it's not even the same length. I'd have had to wind this thing out like 10 turns. Well, it's a good thing we took that carburetor off instead of just winding the jet out a little bit more. 1.5, 2, 1.5, 3, 3.5. All right, now I'm confident. One kick.
One kick.
Got gas?
Yes.
Okay. One kick.
See how that clutch works.
Down. It runs, it sounds good. It's been a long, arduous journey. But at the end of the day, it takes off like it's supposed to.
Will it stop like it's supposed to?
It's a good question. We haven't tested the brakes yet.
Powerhouse.
And it stops.
Yeah, it stops. The bars are bent. So it was definitely wrecked. There's no doubt about it. It's definitely wrecked.
But no, you didn't feel any kind of wobble or anything?
No, I haven't, man. Here, hold it real quick. Let me check the... Looks good. Woo! Take it for a spin, man. All right, guys. It's back together. Tracking straight. About ready for a test ride on the road. Chris is going to give it a go. Nice. Bike's back up and running. Here he comes. Look, he's flying. Thing looks like it operates really well. Make sure you check out either one of these two videos, guys. We'll see you next time.